collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.
Hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to In the Spotlight, the home of unfiltered conversation. This is where real talk is what we do. My name is none other than Donna Thompson.
I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and together we are your fearless moderators. What is going on, Donna?
I like your mic.
We're growing, right? We're growing. Can you hear me out there? I have a new mic. Well, it's not exactly new, but it's new to the show. And we're growing, and that's what it's all about. And that's what a collision with purpose is all about. Self-development and personal growth.
Absolutely.
That's what's up, right?
Yeah, that's what's going on.
And I like your background as well. It's saying a lot. Yeah. Where's that place?
That is in my world of imagination coming to life, right? You love my piano back there, my fireplace.
That's a Baldwin baby grand, or is that a Yamaha baby grand piano you got back there?
Oh, darn it. I have no idea.
So, if you're going to advertise it, the next time,
I'm going to find out the brand.
Well. Here we are again, another beautiful Monday in the spotlight, right? The home of unfiltered conversation. But, here we are, as I said, Monday. And it seems as if it was just a few days ago we were on.
It does. The time goes by so quickly. And I guess we're so busy that it just seems to just speed along.
So it's just a perception that time is going by. It's just a perception and that time is going by. It's our business, which is not a perception. It's real. We are indeed very busy people. So talk to me, Donna. We have September is coming. And we're doing something very special in September. Can you share that with our listeners or those watching?
Sure. So September is coming, and for our listeners, we are actually having our community outreach September 12th through the 20th of 2024, and that will be taking place in none other than Kenya. So we're going back to Kenya this year. We were there last September on a mission trip, but this year we're going back on more of a community outreach. And if you're interested in joining us, absolutely, you're more than welcome to join us. Or if you would like to just sponsor our trip going to Kenya to help the communities that we're going to serve, you can most certainly do so as well. So you have the opportunity to be involved and a part of something great by either joining us on the trip or just sponsoring us to actually be able to do the initiatives that we have that's taking place there.
I want to say one thing about when we went to Kenya. It was last September, right? Correct. And when that airplane touched down in Nairobi, you just started to have this feeling, right? That you started to shake a little bit because here we are in the motherland, right? And when we stepped into the line and started to wait to be processed through the line, and when we came out of the line and started to see Kenya daylight or nighttime, actually, that was a special feeling like none other.
Yeah, it really was. It was, I mean, so many different emotions, right? From, from us traveling there and then just finally landing and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually here. I'm in Africa. And then when you get off the plane and you start getting all the welcome home, and it's just, it was just very there's just so many different emotions, so many different emotions that happened when we got there. And I think, something that was really interesting is we got there at night. It was nighttime when we got there. And when we exited and got outside, it was chilly. It was actually kind of cold. So that was kind of surprising. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect it to be cold. You know what I mean? It's like, once again, perceptions, right? You think because you're going to Africa, it's going to be really hot and 100 degrees.
Well, for me, it was perception that led me wrong because I didn't have a jacket there. I went there dressed like it was summertime. Of course, it was summertime in Atlanta, right? And I went there and I was like freezing. But then it would get warm. So it
Yes.
wasn't always cold. So it turned out that we adapted, real fast to that environment. And at night, it made it easier to sleep because it was too hot. So great trip to Kenya. It was so good. And so we had to go back. It was so compelling when we saw the needs there, so many individuals that can use our help or support, and in turn gave us back love and taught us many lessons about life. We had no choice but to say we're going back to Kenya and we're going here to do work. And not just that, ever since we left Kenya, we've been doing serious work there. So far, I believe we've given out 5 full scholarships, paying tuition for students who otherwise would be home, because there's such a thing in Kenya, attending primary and a lower grade school. If you can't pay, you can't stay.
Right.
And that's a good thing at all. So we've been supporting there, doing our best, and not just us, but we've asked individuals who are joining us, listening to us, our show, and just following the A Collision with Purpose movement, and they have stepped up in a big time way, whether it's to buy textbooks or to pay for tuition or just to support. So I just want to say thank you to all those individuals who supported A Collision with Purpose Scholarship Fund. We appreciate you. We ask that you continue to do your best to support that which we're doing, because it's not really about us, is it?
No.
Never is. It's about the work we're doing. Of course, we get some level of satisfaction, and the benefit we receive is to see how these youngsters, these children, these students receive what we're giving and what they're doing with it. That is the benefit, to see the joy on their face and to see how they're converting what would normally be a bad situation into a good thing. So kudos to them and to those who are promoting and helping them in Kenya. So we had no choice but to go back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, what they always say, like your first impression is your lasting impression, right? And I think that really made it all the difference why we felt so compelled to go back, because at least for me, the welcoming that we received, I've never received any type of welcoming like that in anywhere that I've traveled. I mean, of course, I haven't traveled the world, but but just to think, like, even when we were going, we changed in France, and it was just different. Like when we got there, the welcoming that we received, it just it made you feel that you really were welcome to the country. And so it just kind of compel you want to go back and help in whatever capacity you can. So that for me was I always talk about that, right? I always talk about that welcoming.
You talk about it because it's important. And one thing I want to say to support what you're saying, we here at A Collision with Purpose, we made a big decision that for each book that is sold or bought from our website, we will donate $5 from the proceeds to a scholarship fund. And it's not necessarily to a student in Kenya, but because of the work we're doing now, it's most likely to be for a student there. Well, that is our commitment. So we have 2 books out there: Unearthing You, Your Guide to Self-Discovery and Personal Growth. Powerful book. If you get it, you will. What will happen if you get that book, Donna?
Oh my God, if you get that book, you're going to be a different person. You're definitely going to improve on yourself, of course, and you're probably going to discover a lot of skills and talents that you may have had that was, once buried. So if you're wanting to really improve yourself and just live, and do things to the fullest of your potential, I encourage everyone to really make that investment in getting that book and working on yourself.
And they call that live your best life, right? And whatever that is for you, is for you. And then the other book is A Collision with Purpose, In Pursuit of Purpose. And we just had that, a colloquium. And what an awesome event that was. And we launched that book. And that's another book. If you purchase it from our website, you will be supporting a student somewhere, aiding their education. So buy the book. Go to acollisionwithpurpose.com. Both books are available there. We recommend that you get the books, not just because you want to support students, but because both of these books will also serve you very well, serve who you are. I know we're talking about life of in service, and we have a guest that will be coming on, and she is, if you look in a dictionary under in service, you will see her face. We will bring her on in the next segment, but is there any other business we need to talk about on the business end before we get to a break and bring on our special guest?
Sure. So we have several things that's coming up at A Collision with Purpose. Of course, we have our 2025 colloquium that will be coming up, and that's going to be February 24th of 2025. And if you would like to be in the room, which I'm telling you, if you speak to a lot of people who were in the room this year, you want to be in the room next year, and you need to be in the room next year. So I definitely encourage you to go ahead and get your tickets now. It's not too early to reserve your seat, and make sure that you have a place in that arena comes February 24th. So definitely that's a big thing that's coming up. Also, we have our apparel line that we're getting ready to launch shortly. So that we do have, of course, items that is already for sale, but we are getting to do, a much larger scale launch with our apparel line. So that will be coming up as well. And then we also have our Unearthing You workshop that we're in the final stages of putting everything together. So that will be coming out as well. The book is available, of course, to purchase, but there is also a workshop that I definitely encourage everyone to make the investment to do the workshop as well. So that will be coming out in a few weeks as well.
I just want to add about the workshop. We're currently certifying instructors, giving them license to do the workshop. So if this is something you're interested in to become an instructor, please reach out to us again on our website, on our email address, or by phone. Just contact us. We're all over the internet, all over social media. Get in touch with us if this is something you're interested in doing. And they say when you teach, you learn the most. And what an awesome opportunity it is to become an instructor and to teach and to give these workshops. You'll walk away in a position that will surpass your students. So that's something to look at. Is there anything else, Donna? I know I'm eager to talk and have this conversation with our guests. Do you have anything else you want to add before we take a quick break?
I don't think I have anything else to add currently before we take our break, other than I look forward to have our guests coming up, Miss Siobhan Malcolm, and I can't wait to hear about all the exciting things that she's doing in her organization.
You know, I've been following her for a number of reasons, and some of them I'll explain when we get into the show. I'm going to play a video, and in this video, you'll hear our theme song. It's called A Collision with Purpose. So let's go to the promo video. It's a little bit long, but it's worth every second.
It is.
Like them high decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Like them high decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Like them high decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose.
Wow. It is my decision to be aligned with my purpose. It is my decision to have a collision with my purpose. How more intentional can you be about your life? Right?
Powerful song. Yep.
What a song! What a song! And written and performed by you use the word none other than Ty Swayze, and produced by Shella Topstar, and of course it's on my record label, so I must add that in there. You know. So Donna, let's bring on. Well, let's say what you say, but before we bring her on, I want to have a real drum roll here.
All righty. So this evening we have none other than Miss Siobhan Malcolm, and she's the director of Labor of Love Youth Development Foundation Incorporated. So we are so excited to have her here this evening. She's going to share all about the phenomenal work that she's doing in her community. And we're just excited for her to be here. And she's definitely going to give us more insight of what it is that she does and the organization and how she's involved in her community and how she's serving. So,
so can I add something? Can I add something to what you just said? I mean, Labor of Love Youth Development Foundation. The program aim is to promote student interest and engagement in pursuing STEM majors and careers. How big is that?
That is huge.
Right? We need more of that, right?
Yes.
We need more of that. So let's do the drum roll, Donna. You have a piano, you should go play it. But
I get a real drum for this.
So let's do the drum roll. Let's do the drum roll. Oh, here we are.
Hello. That was a great drum roll.
You like it?
I loved it. Great setup, great intro.
I love it too, and I'm so happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you all too. Thank you so much for having me in the spotlight tonight. So happy to be here and talk to you guys about all the great work we're doing. Collision with Purpose is amazing. So there's no other platform that I'd love to be on tonight to dive into the details on the things that we're doing in the community.
Did anyone pay you to say that?
They did not, but I do take payments. I'll apply them to our scholarship opportunities. We accept all forms of payment.
All forms of payment. See, now you see why her organization is doing so well. Her foundation, right? That's right on it. You know, she's walking and talking at the same time, right? She's so on it. So talk to us before we go into your foundation. Just share with our audience, who is Siobhan?
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time for that. So I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Okay.
So for those of you out there, I'm Siobhan Malcolm. I am a New York native, Jamaican roots all the way. I currently reside in Augusta, Georgia. I'm kind of bi-coastal. I go back and forth between Augusta and New York, serving both communities and just doing some great work out there. Professional-wise as well, I've been in the supply chain industry for almost 20 years. I currently work in the consumer goods categories and love it. So that's what we do, trying to be multifaceted. And combining my professional and my personal all into one. You know, I always say that we're one person, so it's great when we can collide all of our purposes together across all aspects of our life.
The personal and the professional come together and form one.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's when you were in that sweet spot.
That's when you're in that sweet spot, you know, and throughout my career, and I've worked with great companies, but I learned that for myself personally, the ones that I thrived in the most and the environments that I was the happiest in was when my organizational mission aligned with my personal mission and purpose. Because I felt like I wasn't only doing just work for my organization, but I was being used as a vessel to serve as well through my organization as well. So I love the space that I'm in right now. So yeah, I found that sweet spot all around, full compass.
What a great place to be when you have your collision with your purpose.
Yes.
So powerful. I hope your dad is watching, because he told me he would be. He actually called me yesterday.
Hopefully he is. He's on a flight off to Jamaica tomorrow. So you know how that last minute packing goes. So he might be multi working over there.
Yeah. So you know, your foundation. Let me say one thing before we go there. You know, one of the benefit that I get from this program is to engage family members, and I should let the world know that you're my niece.
Yes, proudly.
Donna, it's yours. Donna?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm happy that we have this platform, to be honest with you, because it's such a great place to be, where we get to meet individuals from all life in our community and really get to highlight them with the work that they're doing. And every week that we have someone here, I learn so much about what's happening outside of my world and what others are doing. And it's just great to be on this platform where we can really have good conversations and real conversations.
Yes.
I'm happy to meet you here, Dr.
Yes.
Yes, and it's so important, because we want individuals, people out there listening to us, that within your own circle, you have unlimited resources to tap into. And when you have family members and close friends, Donna, you and I, we're extremely close friends, and we've known each other for 20 plus years. And here is Siobhan, I've known her all her life. And almost all the guests that we bring on, we're so closely related or connected. So we're here to show everyone that within a small circle, we can sustain who we are. You know, and that's one of the things that we're doing at A Collision with Purpose. We're not seeking to go outside and way out there to bring in resources that we already have within. So talk to us about your foundation, my dear.
Yes. Well, first, I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said. Networking is so powerful. And also networking in your circle. Sometimes I find that as friends, as family members, we don't always talk about what we do. You know, we talk about how life is going, all the fun things, the children, vacation, things of that sorts, but we never dive deep into what are our skill sets? What do we enjoy doing? What are we doing in our communities? And I think Collision with a Purpose gives us that foundation to get to know each other on a deeper level and see where we can all work together through our network. When I look at all the close people around me, there's someone I could tap into for everything that I need. So I think we need to keep pushing that and promoting networking and talking to people and not being afraid to talk about what you do. Sometimes, you know, as people, we're very humble. And we don't like to shine spotlight in ourselves, which is why we have to come on shows like In the Spotlight, right? To spotlight ourselves. We're very modest about what we do, but people want to know. And people genuinely want to help and they want to support. So it's just very important to kind of always have that elevator pitch ready for anyone that, you know, is open to listening, because you never know who you're talking to from the airport, the airplane, and the grocery store. So, you know, never be so humble that, you know, you hinder your growth in essence.
And not just hinder your growth, but you could share some information, impart some knowledge to that
Exactly.
person. You don't want to deny that person, you know? So benefits all the way around. And you have a community, you have an ecosystem, and you a close one, let's utilize it.
Exactly. Full circle.
Full circle. Let's tap into it. Well,
Yeah.
I want, you know, you're living a life, in service life, where you're doing so much. You're doing it. And I've watched you on the internet doing what you're doing. Never had an opportunity to talk to you about it. And I should also say, we have a nonprofit agency as well, and you're a big supporter of our nonprofit agency. So you're not just doing it for your agency, you're doing it for other agencies as well.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about your foundation.
Yes. So again, Labor of Love Youth Development Foundation Incorporated. We are headquartered out of Augusta, Georgia, but our services are not limited to. When I came up with the organization, I knew that I wanted to serve my community. I've always had a passion for children since I was younger. Being a young mother myself, it's always kept me focused on the North Star to understand that when kids have a strong foundation, they can succeed. I'm blessed to grow up with two parents that have always been a great example for me, have encouraged me in anything I wanted to pursue, and have provided me a great example on how to be a great leader, have strong impact in my community, and also be an amazing mother. So when I look at other children, all children across all walks of life, I look at them with the lens of a mom, and I try to serve and nurture them in that same way. So I knew again that that was a space I wanted to be in. When I was in a graduate school, I started doing some research more so on STEM, and some of the lack of representation that I saw in that area, being in supply chain, when it comes to Black African Americans, where we're far few and in between. And it made me kind of expand to see what other industries lack diversity as well. And STEM was a major one that just stood out to me. Looking at the statistics, we represent Black African Americans 9% of the STEM industry, which is, it's scary considering that's the way of the future. And through my studies, there were so many reasons why, but the two core things that I learned, it was really lack of access, and lack of resources and lack of knowledge is really what it came down to. I think sometimes as kids, we have certain careers in mind, a doctor, a nurse, social work, things of that nature, but we don't think about careers outside of that, pilots, aerospace engineer, chemist, we know these things are a part of our life, but we never really think about them as a career. So the foundation is to kind of give kids, real world access and insight into all of the careers and fields that are out there, that they can partake in. So that's the core mission of the organization. Through that, we tailor their learnings to get them to that place from high school. So we have, for one example, our college prep program, guiding them on the college application process from beginning to end. It's tailored more so to our juniors and seniors, but everyone, in that high school age range is still welcome to join. They're still learnings at every level. In addition to that, we do have a cohort. It is our STEM Scholars Program, and that program more so focuses on the different careers in STEM, exposing kids to different leaders in these industries and putting them in spaces with people, with other organizations, with collegiate institutions that they might never have access to in their day-to-day. We want to make this the norm. Like, these things are achievable. These things are obtainable. If you want to be a doctor, you can be a doctor. Everything comes with a level of work, but that doesn't mean that it's not attainable. So, we want to make these careers just secondary, right? Like, hey, I can do this. And that's really what we try to promote, within our foundation. We also give out scholarships every year to graduating seniors. Now, the scholarships themselves are service in Richmond and Columbia County, Georgia. So we do try to keep that within the community, unlike some of the other services we offer. So graduating high school student, graduating with at least at minimum 3.0 GPA, and that will be attending HBCU, historically Black college or university, in the fall of graduation, and majoring in a STEM-related field. So those are the basic criterias for you to apply for the scholarship. And we are open right now. Applications are open right now, and our deadline is April 15th. For those of you listening, please apply.
I hear you talk so much about what you're doing. I can't help but ask you, who's working with you?
Oh my goodness. So for the day-to-day stuff, I am a one-man show in that sense, which is a gift and a curse in a way, right? Because sometimes, again, kind of what we spoke to earlier, you have to utilize the resources that are out there. So I'm beginning to lean into what I say, right, and be an example. So I do have my coworkers that help. I have my daughter that does things in the background. I have my brother that does things. My parents are my biggest promoters when it comes to my scholarships. So they will get me money for those scholarships. So those are my scholarship headhunters. Using platforms like this. So really just utilizing friends, families, colleagues. I've gotten so much support from local businesses that just want to support in any way they can. They support a lot financially for to fuel the finances behind our scholarships. So, again, just tapping into anyone that wants to lend a helping hand, always open to any level of support. Running a nonprofit is a lot of work. And trying to manage it across, other things I have going on as well. So I accept all help. We are a 501c3 organization. So all of our donations are tax deductible, and we are able to give out volunteer hours. So I have utilized high school students as well. And in tandem, giving them community service hours. So all high school students, all college students that need some volunteer community service hours, please reach out.
Awesome.
Donna?
Can I ask you, okay, so for our listeners out there, because I know we talk about STEM and some of those programs, but for our listeners out there, can you kind of give the whole meaning of STEM and how did that originate? Because
Yes.
I know that, like we were saying, that there's quite a disparity with our Black community versus our non-Black community that have access to some of these programs, or even just knowledge, knowing what it is and what it's not, and if it's for them or not. So if you could just give us that background for us.
Yeah, so let me break down the acronym of STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The core fiber of pretty much everything that we do today. Again, just working in corporate America for so many years and having exposure to, these different areas, these different career areas, I just never see us. To the point where it resonated and it stood out. And I was curious to understand why. Also, as it relates to health inequity, something very, very, very dear to my heart, we're underrepresented, and representation matters. You have to see someone that looks like you. It's hard to put into words that feeling when you see someone that looks like you, that comes from the same walk of life as you, and they are doing something that you aspire to do. I think there is a level of mentoring that comes with that. Particularly why I focus the scholarship aspect on students going to HBCUs is just from a lot of my research. And I found that children, or students, I should say, that attended HBCUs and majored in a STEM-related field had higher graduation rates coming from a historically Black university, a college or university, versus a primarily white institution. And that's not to discount the work of any institution. I went to a primarily white institution. I love my school. I went back for graduate school. That was the place for me. So everyone has to find, their home, but the numbers are still the numbers. And a lot of that has to do with, again, just that representation, that encouragement. A lot of students that have left out of programs have said that some of the reasons why is, if they were struggling, there was no one there to kind of push them and say, you can do it. A lot of them got well, maybe you should, stop. Maybe this isn't the right major for you. Maybe you should try something else. and you start to get this this identity crisis. Like maybe, it goes back to that imposter syndrome. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe this is too hard for me. And a lot of them did not complete their studies in that field. So again, it's just important to see that representation and have that encouragement all the way through. So that's really what it's about. Again, it also ties back to generational wealth and financial gaps within our communities. Our community typically goes more so in the work of service and social work and things of that nature, which are great. We need those, but the pay is different. It's unfortunate that anytime you're doing work within the community, the pay is less. I've always felt like it should be the reverse. The teachers, the educators, they should be getting paid more, right? But that's the way that society sets us up. So you're coming in at two completely different pay grades, and the gap never closes. So that's another, reason why it's important, because it also closes that financial gap as well, that leads to, generational wealth with the right understanding of finances. So there's so many reasons why STEM is important. And it's not always, you don't have to be a doctor, to be in STEM. You don't necessarily have to be an engineer by trade per se. There's so many areas that fall into that dynamic. But again, it's just opening up access and giving them, the knowledge to say, hey, you can try this, you can try that, So that's the ultimate thrust behind STEM in particular.
And just to remind our audience that we are having a conversation with Siobhan Malcolm, the director of Labor Love Youth Foundation. And what a big, big, big foundation. The heart, the work, and the results that they're getting is just amazing. And I want to again say, just commend you for just taking this on.
Thank you.
Having the vision to take this on. And how did you come up with that name? I'm so curious.
Because, the vision came to me years ago. I would say maybe 15 years ago, the vision came to me. I remember my daughter couldn't be more than 3 years old. I just didn't know what my focus was going to be. I knew it would be children. I know it would be some form of development, but I just didn't know in what area. As an early college student, I'd find myself doing, all of my friends' resumes. As I graduated, all of my cousins, I was doing their resumes. I was doing their cover letters. As an adult, even before I kicked off my organization, I was reading college essays and editing essays. My father always said that, I should have been an English teacher, because I love writing. I love grammar. I love telling the story through words. So naturally, without me even realizing it, that I was serving in that area already. I used to mentor with the Boys and Girls Club. I was also a big sister. Things that were just in my heart to do, not knowing that I was going to birth something, so big. But it was really when I got into graduate school and had been exposed to different corporate organizations that I said, aha, this is where I want to focus, and I chose to do my thesis on it so I could really do the research and really understand what is going on in that area. So from all of my learnings, I said, this is an area that needs attention, and, my dad always says, figure out what the problem is and find a solution, and it will always be successful. And that's what I did. There was a problem that needed a solution, and I knew that I wanted to be a part. You can't do it all. You can't reach everyone. But as long as I know that my organization can impact one student, that's good for me, right? That's good for me. And to watch these kids start from high school age, juniors, seniors, even some sophomores, and to watch them graduate high school, graduate college, and see them in their field. It is a feeling that I cannot even speak to. I can't even see my refrigerator door because it's filled with pictures, graduation pictures and high school pictures and just random pictures of all the students, family, friends that I've touched. And it's every day I see that, it gives me the push to just keep on going. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on going.
Keep on going. And I'm going to quote Siobhan's dad, Benji. What did he say about the problem?
You find the problem,
and
figure out the problem, find a solution, and there'll be success.
Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that what it's all about?
It is.
Benji and Marlene.
Yes.
Great job. That's amazing work, Siobhan is doing. And Donna, is there any question you have for Siobhan at this stage before we take a break?
Yeah, sure. So Siobhan, I wanted to ask you, how is your program offered? Because I know you said that it's not just like based in Augusta, but it's kind of, throughout.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's in person, online. How's that done?
Yes. So if you go on our website, you can register. So for our STEM Scholars program, it is a cohort. So you do have to register from the beginning of the program to follow it all the way through. It is a 6-week program. So you can register on our website. As it relates to the College Prep 101 program, same thing. You do have to register. There's no criteria for that. But there is a criteria for the STEM Scholars program. There is a GPA requirement because we want to invest in you, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself as well, right? It goes both ways. So again, you could go on the website and register for these services, but we're always here for ad hoc things as well. So even for our college students, when it comes to, writing their first resume, they can always reach us through our website. We also have a college application planner and guide that we published a few months back. You can purchase that on our website as well, if you just kind of want to work at your own pace. But we're always here as a resource. We have our Facebook page that is monitored hourly. So if you reach out via Facebook, Messenger, have a question, someone will respond to you within 24 hours. But definitely, I would say check out our website. It's just a good source of information. Everything that you need to know is there.
So I encourage our listeners or whoever is watching that as soon as Siobhan make a post, I encourage you to share it. And not just share it because of her, but share it because of the work she's doing. It's big work and it's necessary work that she's doing. I know I for one, each time I see her make a post, I am just on it because I know it's important. I'm not just doing it because it's her. I'm doing it because of the work she's doing. So I encourage you, anytime you see her work out there, just share it. And if I should share it, then share what I'm sharing. Because we need to get this information out there to as many individuals as possible. Living a life of in service is not always an easy thing to do. It's a commitment. And because we have a job, we're doing other things. A lot of nonprofit agencies, they're professional agencies where the directors are paid so they can do it full time. That is not the case here. We're just talking about strictly volunteer work.
Right.
Do that and make it effective. It's not no small order. It's not no small task. It demands a lot. It takes a lot out of you financially and otherwise. So let's support her. Let's support her work. So Donna, anything else you want to add before we take a break?
Not right now. I think it's a good time for us to go ahead and take a quick break.
It's a good time to take a break. Well, you know
All
what
right.
I'm going to do? That my favorite song, I'm going to play it again because it is such a powerful song and it speaks to what we're talking about here. the A Collision with Purpose song. So bear yourself, get ready. We're going to do it again.
Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. You know, it's obvious that Siobhan made a decision a long time ago to have a collision with her purpose. And here we're talking about her purpose. So that's what we're talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And you guys just chorus that together. I just love how both of you answered. That was awesome. And
Awesome.
if
And I
that is-
wanted to go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to add on one thing. So I know I spoke a lot about the work for, that we do for the students, but our parents are an important piece of the organization as well. There is a lot of learnings for our parents when it comes to, the financial aid piece as it relates to FAFSA and just the college application process as a whole. I am a first generation college student, so I had the support of my parents when it came to the application process. But at that time, the resources weren't out there like they are today. So I know my parents made a lot of trips to Barnes and Nobles to make sure that they could support us the best way that they could. Now with so many learnings that I have, I often hear my parents say, man, if I only knew that then, right? But what is what is. So I also want to, make sure that parents know that we're also a resource for you as well. And we have a strong network of, collegiate institutions that can guide you through the process. If you need something more tailored to a particular university, we can get that we can get that resource for you. So again, that, you know, it's a community, right? Community effort. So again, parents as well, if you have questions, please utilize, you know, our website, our Facebook page, laborofloveyouth.org, for information and support as well.
Donna, I know you can type real good. Can you put that in the chat? laborofloveyouth.org. Is that what foundation?
Yep,
Like
laborofloveyouth.org.
Yeah, we need to get that out there. We need to make sure it's in writing. So, you know, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to document it so people can go back to it. You
right.
know?
Is there any spaces?
No spaces. laborofloveyouth.org. No spaces.
Okay.
Don't type out no spaces.
I'll do my best not to.
It's a Monday. What can I say? It's a Monday. It's a Monday. And March is going by so fast.
Listen, when you make it visual, you make it real. Exactly. So, you know, we put our things in writing.
In writing. Only then it's binding. Well, so, you know, I want to talk about what's in store for the future. The futuristic look for your foundation. What is happening? What's about to go down? What do you have planned for the future?
We want to continue to expand. Our next phase is to host workshops, quarterly workshops, in person and virtual, so we can reach a broader audience. The virtual world is amazing when it comes to reach. And we realize also that when it comes to access, some students might not have access to meet us in person, right? And we want to be a resource for everyone in every form. So, you know, our next step is definitely workshops, virtual workshops, in-person workshops, so we get the information out there. No cost to the students, right? We are here as a volunteer organization. We do not want financial barriers to be a reason why you cannot get the information that you need. And that's why we work on our end to get support from community leaders and businesses to help us fund all of these things so we can keep this access to our students, to our families for free. Again, we want no barriers. We want to break down all the walls of limitation and give all children an equal platform, you know. And although, you know, our mission is to promote, you know, more diversity in STEM, it's not limited to, you know, just Black and African American children. We reach children of all walks of life. We talk to parents of all walks of life. And I know sometimes with organizations, when it has a minority core, sometimes people think that that takes them out of that organization, and it does not. We are inclusive to all people. Our key is that the message is out there, the resources are out there, the mentorship is out there, the support is out there. So utilize us for all your needs as it relates to the college process and just questions on careers and, you know, and understanding how do you find your passion and your career choice as well.
So community leaders, businesses, individuals, no donation is too small. Am I saying that right?
You are saying that right.
And how can they send you their small and big donations? How can they get it to you?
Again, you can go through our website, and we accept Zelle and PayPal as well. And you can pay right through our website, you know, or you can reach out to us directly as well. A lot of our larger businesses, you know, they do give us checks. So we do accept checks as well. And again, remember, it is a tax write-off. We are a 501c3 organization. So, you know, it's always important to make sure that we put that out there as well.
Awesome. Wow, big stuff, big work going on there, you know, with your foundation. And I like your look into the future. to get the information, become more global within the United States. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you start off small, as kind of a test and learn. You know, you want to kind of gauge your audience and mold and grow and transform with what the community needs, right? And then once you find your rhythm, it's important to expand. So, you know, that's why we kind of started in the Augusta, Georgia area, because I really saw a need in that area to start there first. And now that we're getting a lot of traction in the area, we want to expand again to all of Georgia and then outside of Georgia as well. So again, you know, this is a global initiative. I've had international students reach out, you know, coming from countries like, what's the process for international students, you know, trying to go to college in the States? So we are a one-stop shop for resources. So please, anywhere you are, you can reach out to us and we are going to be able to support and guide you through your process.
Donna, I know you know some students who could certainly use.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, especially
Send them over.
Send them over.
Like I'm quite sure some of our Kenya students.
Yes,
definitely.
You know, and that's important. The international process is a bit different, you know, and if you're not already here, it can be confusing. So yes, we send them all.
Send them all. And as they're coming, parents who can afford it, bring the money with you.
Yes. Again, we take all forms of donations. No donation is too small. We don't mind the kind that jingles, but we prefer the type that folds.
You know, we're laughing as we're talking. There's so many parents out there who have the means, the financial resources, but don't know what to do. So even those kids from those homes still need the support and the guidance.
They do.
Yes. And you said something earlier, and awareness is so important. You know, yes, we know we can become doctors, we can become lawyers. Those are the popular go-to things that students think about. But there's so many powerful other disciplines and careers out there that we're not exposed to. And because we're not exposed, we're not exposing our children to. So so that was a powerful point that you made. And maybe you should make it again, because other people came on, you know, after you made that point, and that was such a powerful piece.
Absolutely. We want to expose our students, our parents to all type of careers that are out there, you know, in STEM. I often give the example of, you know, soda. You know, there's a lot of kids that like to drink soda. And I say, you know, there's a chemist that works on those different formulations and those different flavors. There's a process to getting it out there and getting it on the shelf to the consumer, but you don't think about these things, you know. I have students that are now like aerospace majors, things that you don't typically hear often. So it's just giving them an understanding that everything that you do, there's some type of STEM foundation in it. And there's someone in that field that's helped bring it to the consumer market. So again, exposure, access, you don't know what you don't know, right? Like you said, we know the basics, a doctor, you know, lawyer, teacher, we know these basic careers, not basic in the sense of what they do, but our everyday careers, right? But there's some out there that are so awesome, but they're more so behind the scenes, right? So we want to shed light on all that's out there. And there is something for everyone. There's STEM in all of us. Even if you think that you're not strong in technology or you're not strong in mathematics or engineering, there's so many different types of engineering that there's something there for everyone, but you have to put the work in. You know, these type of majors and careers often come with a more rigorous coursework and course load, but you have to invest in yourself as well. But it's achievable, it's attainable. You just got to get up, decide to do it, and lean into your purpose.
Mm.
Mm.
Get up, decide to do it, and lean into your purpose. Information is powerful, but with action behind it, it's a different ball game, isn't it?
Game changer.
It's a game changer, and that is what you are teaching. That's what you're sharing with us tonight. I want you to think about, let's talk about those students with no access to information, who don't have the parents. You was fortunate to grow up with a dad and a mom who was so involved in your life. Let's talk about those individuals, those kids who are not so fortunate, and they're in a situation where, how do they move forward? What would you suggest to them?
This is why us being mobile is key, because students might not have the access to come to us, but we have the access to go to them. We take for granted even having internet as we're on this Facebook Live. There's a lot of students that do not have access to internet once they leave school. So we have to be able to transform ourselves to be reachable, to the children. So we do go into other community organizations. We have, met up at libraries before. I personally have driven to students' homes before, and have sat there in the kitchen and walked them through certain things. Although going through my website, you can do a lot of uploads digitally, but there are some children that might not have a printer at home or ink and things of that nature. So, you can mail it a hard application as well. The key is for us to be accessible and not to underestimate anyone's circumstance or take that for granted. So if you can't come to us, we will absolutely come to you.
Mm. It's interesting that you say that. We're doing work in Kenya, and there's a lack of so many things. You talk about internet, just the way we communicate nowadays is so foreign to some of those students. But I want to say that even here in the United States, there are students without access to what we take, so many of us take for granted. So that you're going out and bringing it, delivering it to their doorstep is so powerful.
Absolutely.
And I want our people listening and watching this program to understand the power in what you're doing and the importance of your foundation. It's no small work, and I'm saying that to say that you need support. You need support, and I'm sure that it's not just financial support, but if there's someone out there believe that they contribute their time and effort, their labor, and whatever they can bring to the table, I'm sure you will welcome that. So I want to put that out there, that if you're listening, and you, even if you don't have the financial means, there's so much you can do, so much more. It's not always about money, because I know you're doing this and it's not easy work, and you can use all the help you can get. So I just wanted to put that out there. Donna, what do you want to say to, because I know you have so much on your mind, but this is big stuff to you. When it comes to student, this is your game.
Yeah, I definitely, I commend you for the work that you are doing. And I'm just, of course, sitting here just, paying attention and listening intently of everything that you're saying. Because like Dr. Stephenson said, my passion is the children. And not just that, I have a son, that's 15 years old. And I see how, like, what you're offering could potentially be of value and benefit for him as well. Because even within our everyday school system, it's basically, you have a curriculum to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we get surveys about what do you like, what you don't like, what you want to do, sometimes you feel like, why am I filling out these surveys? Because you fill it out, but then there's nothing that is nothing changes to tailor what the child expressed as interest that's on that survey when it comes on to school. It's almost like as a parent, you would have to take them out of that school setting and find something privately
Right.
to get them involved in. That's going to cost, you know, majority of parents, you can't afford a lot of these programs, you know. So you find that sometimes the children, they're getting lost in the system. They're getting lost in the system, and we're failing our children.
Yes.
Because we have this one size fit education system that is really not helping a lot of our kids. And, you know, just like I'm saying, you know, a lot of them, they don't know these programs. And even if some parents do, they don't have the financial means of supporting their children with these additional programs. And I know the school system is overwhelmed, of course. However, I don't think there can be more in the school system to help tailor children's skill set so that they can become more successful in the future.
Absolutely. You know, and we have to remember not all schools are created equal.
Correct.
Right? Not all schools are created equal. So a lot of our children are not stepping out with this on the same playing field. You know, I go to some schools and their science labs are state of the art, technology labs, computer labs, amazing. And I go to other schools, you know, and to, you know, be transparent, a lot of primarily Black schools, and, you know, they're still calling out for newer textbooks, right? So the playing field is not always easy and even. And it's not that the students do not have the ability to be just as successful, but they do not have the resources,
Right.
is what it is. So if you're learning a particular type of math from elementary school and someone else isn't learning it until middle school, you're already ahead of the game, right? And sometimes that can be discouraging. That's when that imposter syndrome sets in. You know, if you start struggling, and students have the tendency, well, not just students, people have the tendency to compare themselves off of other people. So someone else is getting it and you're not getting it. You think something is wrong with you, right? But we all have different learning curves. And that's why we have to have a more tailored approach. And that's what we try to do. And that's where that mentoring comes in and that encouragement comes in. Although we push, you know, academics as a whole, and this organization is about, you know, collegiate advancement and in STEM, but you're not just a mentor in this area, you're a whole life mentor. Because sometimes it's even hard to think about, you know, what you want to major in when you can't stop thinking about how hungry you are at night.
Right.
All these things matter and can make or break a student when it comes to their level of success. So we can't take for granted those small things. So, you know, we have to mentor holistically, right? And it's holistically and tailored and authentically, transparently, right? And with trust. Because when the students trust us, they open up more, you know, and we want them to know that this is a safe space, right? So we will help in any way, in any facet, across their life holistically to ensure that we set them up for, success, right? Because that's the ultimate goal. It's success. And success may look different for everyone, and the path might be different for everyone, but it's still the end goal. And everyone has the ability to get there, you know, find their level of purpose, find out what their personal definition of success is. And we just want to get them there, however we can.
In any way that we can get them there. You know, you talk a lot about students at the college level and preparing them. How important is that early education in getting these kids right?
It is fundamental. That's where it starts. I use my own daughter as my guinea pig, right? So she was my test and learn. And then she's doing well. She's in her junior year at St. John's University in Queens. And she's a smart cookie. And sometimes people will ask me, well, how did you get her there? And how do you keep her? She's involved in so many things. How do you keep her focused? I used to always say to her as she was little, that idle time is a devil's playground. So I used to keep her occupied in many things. But I think being there, I would have constant communication with her guidance counselor, because sometimes students go unnoticed, right? But when the schools see a parent there and know that there's a parent behind the student, they seem to address things more urgently. So naturally, even when she was in high school and she was always strong academically, every quarter I'd reach out to her guidance counselor. What's her GPA? What's her GPA? And I would give her challenges. Okay, so you got this, you got a 3.0. Okay, let's see if you can strive for a 3.2, right? But this was just natural since she was born. I think it's important to have expectations for children, not just your own, but for all. And believe it or not, kids love that. Even if they fight against it, they love guidance. They love expectations. Even if they stray from it, when the foundation is there, they will always come back to home base. But it is, you have to be a part of it as a parent, as a community leader. You have to be actively engaged. You have to be encouraging. There's many nights where I've sat up, 11 o'clock midnight, while my daughter was working on science projects. Although I'm falling asleep, just me being there made a difference. She's a junior in college. She'll call me midnight. Mom, what are you doing? Sleeping. I have to finish this paper. Stay up with me. Right? And we'll be FaceTiming. She probably can't even see me because it's pitch black in my room. But just knowing that I'm there can get her through. Right? So it's just being engaged from the beginning. And leading with a gentle hand. Again, we all have different learning curves, and a lot of students don't respond well to aggressiveness, even when it comes from a good place. And sometimes as a parent, it can be frustrating when you can't understand why, they can't get basic arithmetic, especially as coming from a Caribbean household where math is at the forefront of everything. Right? Knowing those multiplication tables back and forth. But the patience is key. Active engagement is key, but it starts from the beginning. Set those expectations from the beginning and guide them all the way through. So you got to touch them while they're young, and they don't have to be yours, for you to touch them when they're young. You have expectations on them. You let them know, you vocalize that I expect this from you, and you let them lean into it. I have younger cousins, right? And again, I treat them like they're my children. And some of them are not, they're in their early 30s. And I still get on them like they're my kids because I have expectations for them. And I know what their ability is, and they have the capability. And when they fall short of it, of excellence that I know they can attain, I push on them. So, we are a community, reach one, teach one. And the earlier you get them, you just pour into them, and it will pay off.
Absolutely. You said that, your daughter is so busy, you kept her busy, but I noticed lately she's keeping you busy. I see you all over the country.
Yes. Yes.
In stadiums and games. She's got you hopping.
She has got me hopping. Yes, she is a Division I dancer for St. John's University. And dance mom life has not stopped. Where she is, she wants me to be. And I'm going to be there, and I'm going to show up because I always want her to know that I'm rooting for her. I'm always in the audience. When I can't make it there, I put on ESPN and I watch her that way. And I text her, I couldn't fly in today, but I'm here. I see you, I see you on the sideline. I can see you over there. Kids just want someone to, not just kids, people just want to know that there's someone in your corner.
Mhm.
Through the good, through the bad, there's someone in your corner.
Well said. Through the good, through the bad. All times. We all
All
know,
times.
no matter where you are in your life.
Exactly. You can't have all good. It's impossible, and sometimes I believe all things work together for the greater good. I had my daughter when I was 20 years old. I was in college. I was a junior in college, right? I could have taken a very different path, right? But I had the support from my parents. I had natural discipline within myself, and my daughter has always been my North Star, right? So she always kept me grounded, always kept me focused, always kept me motivated and striving for the next. So sometimes your life adversities can catapult you to the next phase. So you have to embrace the good with the bad. Experiences happen for a reason. And my greatest lessons, my greatest learnings have been through my adversity. So I embrace it. I always say you understand it, you embrace it, you accept it, and then you lean into it. Because the sooner you lean into it, you're going to end up on the other end. It is what it is, right? So accept it, lean into it, forge through it, and there's always something greater on the other side.
So true.
Never fail.
Never fails.
Always something greater on the other side. And Donna, I'm going to turn it back to you because I see that thing in your face, like I need to ask some questions. So I'll turn it back to you.
Oh my goodness. No, I don't have a whole bunch of questions for you. But like I said, I really commend you for what you're doing, and it is definitely so needed. A question that I have for you, with the different programs that your organization have, do you have anything in place where you offer some of this support system within the public school setting, or is that like something on your future list that you may venture into?
Yes. So we have in the past gone into particular schools and partnered with schools to kind of go towards the students. Most of our work has also been through community organizations. So going into organizations like the Boys and Girls Club or local after school, community places, kind of reaching the kids in one large mass is key. So we want to continue to do that. We do there's so many schools across the board, but that is our goal, to be a staple in those schools, be a pillar, of resource, and be actively engaged in those schools. Early on, we adopted a classroom. It was younger students. It was a fifth grade classroom, but we were just there. We gave books. That's how we kind of encourage the students about STEM, through reading. At that age, they're very young. So you have to, teach in, at the correct level, but that was the way that reached them. And I would say that was probably one of the, that was just fun, right? Adopting a classroom and being there to judge science fairs. And so showing up for our organization in a different way. So again, even though we have particular services, we're transformable, we're flexible. Our goal is to serve the community. So whatever that means for that particular community, that's how we're going to evolve. So it's not a one set fits all. If there's something that we don't have that you need, tell us, right? So we can create that and make sure that there's a resource in that space. We're always welcome to feedback. It's the goal is to evolve and grow and to reach as many people as we can. So Feedback is always welcome. Like you said, financial is great, but that's just one small aspect. It doesn't take finances to, it's not the only form of support. And sometimes just being a hand, a voice is more helpful.
And I was asking that because I don't know if I should say that on this platform, but I was asking that because something like just clicked in my head where I'm like, we just had our event at Shiloh High School here in Snellville, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't it be awesome to have this at Shiloh High School?
Yes.
Because I am sure the support and the resource is needed there as well.
It was an amazing event. I was happy to be front row there, and you know, as great as all the speakers were, my favorite parts was watching how the children were integrated into the program.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had a piece. Everyone had a purpose. Everyone had their time to shine, and I love that. You know, that's one thing that really stood out to me, that the kids were able to engage and showcase their talents, and to just feel the love from the crowd. So it was just an amazing event. So happy to do any level of collaboration. That's also one of our program aims, you know, to collaborate, you know, with like-minded organizations. So again, we will come where we need to be. We will show up where we need to be, because the goal is to just get the message out there. I have a lot of frequent flyer miles from flying around the globe with my daughter. So just tell me where I need to be, and we're there.
Awesome. I love it.
You know, the event was such a success and so empowering, inspirational, and it just did it for us that we have already set the new date for the next event for 2025. We booked the location. In fact, when we went to have conversation with Dr. Gore at the school, and she said, "Tell us the date you want. You can have any date you want." It was so inspiring. She said, you guys transformed our school.
Absolutely.
That's what
I've seen it firsthand, and I was transformed from the audience.
It was, if you were there, it was hard to walk away not feeling different.
Mm-hmm.
It was difficult to walk away and not feel something like something happened. You was at the right place at the right time. Yeah, and that was one of the big piece. But engaging students is something that we're all about. It's all about students. It's all about the future.
Right.
It's all about the future.
Even for myself, you know, I met some great networks. Mm-hmm. Just being there. Now, when I said, "Oh, you know what? I can pull them in. You know, they can speak." You know, some of the stories I heard about some of the adversity that some of the speakers went through. You know, we have to be transparent. Sometimes we, you know, again, humbleness, shyness, you know, afraid of being judged, that we kind of keep our adversities to ourselves. We only want to step out when we're, you know, at the time to shine. But people appreciate authenticity. People want you to take them on the journey through the peaks and through the valleys. And when we share our stories transparently and authentically with others, we don't even realize sometimes how we touch them. Mm-hmm. Right? And they might not even tell us, but I can say everyone that spoke in some form or another, something that they said resonated with me to my core, you know. So we can't be afraid to share our stories and to be transparent. This is the season of taking off the mask, taking off the makeup, and just being our transparent selves.
You know, not to over promote the book, we interviewed 72 individuals from different parts of the world. Unfortunately, we could only use 18 of the stories from the interviews. And what you heard at the event was a quick snippet of the stories. If you I encourage you, if you have not purchased this book, A Collision with Purpose, In Pursuit of Purpose, I highly recommend you do so, because within those pages are some very powerful stories how individuals turn adversities and use it to help others. Use that adversity to really realize what their purpose is, and not just that, but they're using their purpose now to help others. So highly recommend that you get it. Plus, if you purchase this book, you're also supporting students, because $5 from each sale will become part of the A Collision with Purpose Scholarship Fund. And we're in the business of helping students, we're in whatever way we can. So I highly recommend, if you have not bought the book, go out there and get it, because all that we're talking about tonight is the same thing. It's alignment. As the song said, about being assigned and to my alignment, and made a decision to be assigned to my alignment, to my collision with my purpose, and all that good stuff. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I know, wow, it's an hour and a half we've been on.
Oh, wow.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it's an hour and a half. So this is the time when we do our circle and we do our closing argument. But before we go there, I would want, Siobhan, is there anything else you would like to add that you wanted to say but you didn't get the opportunity to say?
No, I'll just reiterate. We are here to serve and be a one-stop shop for all your resources for parents and for students. So please check out our website, laborofloveyouth.org. There's a lot of good information there. And again, you can always reach out to us directly via phone, via email, and we will get back to you. Definitely like and follow our Facebook page. We post content there, again, not just within our organization, but things going on in the same scope, in the community. So again, just check us out, utilize us. We're here, we're free. What's better than free?
What's better than free? And Siobhan, you said it earlier, if you help one student, you've done your work.
Yep, exactly.
Done your work. So I encourage, not just like and share and but talk to people who are not on social media. Let them know what is going on with this organization, this foundation. So many individuals are not into the internet thing, the social media thing, but they also need to know. So pass the word on the traditional old way of, hey, I saw this thing on social media and this is what they do. You can still be supportive that way and spread the word. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. Word of mouth is the best resource. So I do charge everyone who is listening with that call to action. If you know someone that can utilize our resources, send them our way. It's about getting the word out there, letting people know that we are out there and we're here to serve. So again, I implore and I charge everyone with that call to action about spreading the word of our vision and mission.
Donna?
Yes. So, like I said before, thank you so much for joining us. It's definitely been a pleasure hearing about the wonderful work that you're doing. And once again, I just echo both you and Dr. Stephenson. If you're out there, you're listening to us, this is an organization that you want to go ahead and be a part of. You want to be able to know that you are impacting and empowering a child out there so that they can, be successful in the future. And if we don't take care of our children, who else is going to do it? So definitely connect. If you know of someone, pass on the information and just see how you can actually work with Labor of Love. And I'm quite sure our director is going to be very happy to have others joining and helping.
Yes. Because it is indeed a labor of love. Hence the name.
Absolutely.
Siobhan, is there a closing argument?
No, that's it. I think we put it all out there. Again, I implore and charge everyone to just spread the word. To check out our website again, laborofloveyouth.org for any information that you might have on the organization. And again, please feel free to reach out to us via Facebook, website, phone, email. We will get back to you.
We will get back to you. You know, I just want to say, Siobhan, I am so proud of you. I'm proud of you for a number of reasons. You know, we communicate, and you're such a great supporter as well of what I'm doing, the work I'm doing. You really stand up, and you've always supported, you know, our nonprofit agency. You've supported A Collision with Purpose, and yet, with all the support you're giving, you're still doing what you're doing. You still find time to take care of your daughter, to be a good daughter to your parents, and to be a good auntie to your nephew.
I'm an auntie, my little nephew Benji. Shout out to Benji.
And to be a good sister to your sister. You know, I feel so privileged and honored to, you know, to say you're my niece. I am so proud of you, and and I want to say that something about this platform. Because if you look at the three of us on here, we're all connected, and that we could know each other so well and yet come together and have all these resources to have such a conversation that can benefit and change the world is no small undertaking. But I also want to say that as important as that is, there are many other individuals out there with the same situation. They just need to act on it. They just need to take charge and implement, do something. Don't just sit back on the sideline. Recognize talents around you. Recognize resources within your circle, within your family, friends, because it's out there. Because that's what we have here. That's what we've always had on this platform. 99% of our guests are people we know very well, and a lot of times family members. So if that is not enough evidence that there is enough resources within our circle, we're just not tapping into it well enough. So my suggestion and my closing argument is get up, wake up, stand up, and do what you need to do to change your life, to change your community, and to prepare a better place for your children, for the next generation to grow into.
Yes. Progress over perfection.
There you go. Just do it.
Just do it.
We'll all come together. We'll fix the pieces, the bad parts.
Exactly. You course correct as you go, but you have to start first. So
Right.
Progress over perfection. Good enough, go.
There you go. Always. So we're going to close out now, and I'll ask that you both stay backstage for 1 minute when we close out. So Donna, can you tell our guests what you need to tell them, or folks listening what you need to tell them, so we can jump out and get out of here?
Sure. So I just want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for a wonderful guest. Thank you for spending your Monday evening with us. Like always, definitely jump on Mondays at 7:30 to join us in the spotlight with our conversations with our wonderful guests that we'll always have. And then, of course, on Thursdays, we have our Bridging Generations with the men, which that is a hot platform on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. So join us there on Thursdays as well. And like always, if you are out there and you have something that you're working on in the community and you would like to be a part of this platform, reach out to us, send us a message, and just connect with us, and we'd be more than happy to hear what you're all about, and we can also have a conversation with you in the spotlight. And like always, have a blessed evening.
And remember, a story kept to yourself serve only you, no other. All right.
collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.